Hey Chris, here's a demo of my final project. Okay, so we open to this page, and from this page, we have the option to start playing audio. We also have these two effects, distortion and standard EQ. Distortion is a lot like what you saw last time, with the similar controls. And EQ, I've got 3 per page. I used an equation from Will's book in order to space out the starting frequencies, so that it made sense to have these different bands. And if you change a frequency, it will load back. It remembers that. So we also have chain order. So I'm going to start playing the demo again. So we'll put standard EQ first in the chain. And then turn on this high pass filter. You can see this is doing normal high pass filter things. Now I'm changing it to a low pass filter. Gonna up the Q so you can hear some resonance. Goes up to 20, but yeah, I'll show you the extreme. And it goes down to 0.1, not 0.1, it goes down to 0.55. As you can see, when I switch to a shelving filter, the Q becomes non-applicable because I have first order shelving filters. And for the parametric filter, I can control all 3 of these parameters. So I can put this in a range where we can hear it. I've got all these filters. I kind of do the same thing. Oh, neat feature. If I try to put this below what it should be, it won't let me. If I try to backspace on that too, it just goes back to 20. To keep, the filter safe and keep garbage values out. Same thing happens if I hold down 9. Just as soon as it would be above 20,000, it clamps it at 20,000, 20K. So, I have this chain order, so if I put distortion in, all of a sudden distortion gets bumped to the first position, standard EQ gets the second position. You can see how this works. And if I take distortion out by lowering it again, standard EQ goes to 1. And I can't raise standard EQ because having a second in the order doesn't make any sense if there's only one chain present, if there's only one thing present. Now, a particularly interesting configuration, in my opinion, is to put some distortion on and then low pass it until you like how it sounds. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you. Now if I switch the order, let's see what happens. A very noticeable difference. Can you demonstrate that again? And one more interesting thing in the code I'd like to address is how I got the audio to keep playing across different view controllers. And I created a singleton audio player. So this class is called by anything that affects the audio, and you can see how there's this shared player that is static. Use the plus sign so it's not an instance variable. It is a global variable so that you can access it from anywhere. And I have my EQ process classed out, or as close to a class as I can get, because Objective-C and Objective-C++ don't like classes, so you use a C struct. And so these are where EQ process is where I'm holding the functions. And then I have this struct called generic filter and the biquad struct to hold information. that is the essence of my project. You can see the segue structure here. I had to create this blank view controller because whenever my main view controller was being loaded, I was calling the constructor for the singleton audio player. So in order to combat that issue, I put the constructor in here so that, and I set this to also segue straight into my main view as soon as the audio is all set up, so that that function wouldn't get called every time I return to this view, but it would get called the first time I open the app. All right, that is my app.